So now that we've talked about the general fit of your rig, we're gonna move on to our chest strap, okay? When you're starting to gear up, some manufacturers say to tighten your chest strap first, others say to tighten your leg straps first. So just check with the manufacturer of your rig to see what's recommended for you. So how tight should our chest strap be for our free fall and for opening, okay? Obviously there's always room for personal preference. So when we're doing up our chest strap, we wanna make sure our chest strap isn't too loose, okay? One of the issues with being too loose is when we're in free fall, if you're on your belly, it's not a big deal, but when you start moving around, doing angle jumps, free flying, if it's too loose, the rig can come off your shoulder, and now you're not really at risk at falling out of your rig or anything crazy like that, but it's gonna be uncomfortable, it's gonna be distracting. At pull time, it can cause some malfunctions and some other issues, okay? So we wanna make sure it's tight enough to where our main lift web and our ring covers are sitting just in a nice comfortable position on our shoulders. We don't need to go crazy where we're worried about it moving and we're cranking it nice and tight like this. That's not very necessary. Also, once you open with a really tight chest strap, your risers are going to be right here hitting your head. That's not good either, okay? A fairly tight chest strap can slow your opening down because it does keep your risers a little bit closer together during the snivel. So if you do have a canopy that opens on the quicker side, like the sail canopies that are loaded very heavy, you can actually tighten that chest strap up a little extra to help with slower openings.
Okay, so now let's talk about how to stow your chest strap. There's many different methods and you have to find whatever is best and most comfortable for you. For hop and pops, what we recommend is, because we're not hitting terminal velocity, we're not doing anything crazy, is just wrapping up the chest strap and stowing it with one stow. Free fall, sometimes people like to stow with two stows. You can also fold the chest strap in on itself like this to make it a little bit more secure. Because what we're aiming to do is we're aiming so that we don't have our chest strap come out and start attacking us in free fall, right? But for hop and pops, no big deal. Just take the chest strap, stow it with the keeper, and it'll be nice and secure for that sub-terminal opening.
Next, we're talking about how long does our chest strap need to be. So when we're loosening our chest strap to let that canopy breathe and open up into the shape that it's designed to fly in, the line set is gonna really decide that end shape. If we open this up and we make it really loose, you see I have a very long chest strap for swooping. This is really big. Eventually, the three rings are only gonna go out so wide and it's gonna stay in that normal shape. So if you're not swooping, you don't need a very long chest strap like this to get what we're looking for, right? Because eventually this will just kind of flop around like this and hang out and the wind will move it around a little bit, no big deal. But you don't want this crazy long chest strap where it's wrapping around your handles and things like that, or flopping around behind you and just being a nuisance in general. For swoopers, longer one is kind of nice because we can do that whole lean forward, look like Superman thing. So everybody's is gonna be slightly different. You have to kind of start with longer than what you need and figure out where it should be set to, and then have a rigger shorten it for that perfect setting for you.
All right, so now that we've determined why we loosen the chest strap, now let's talk about how to loosen the chest strap. So the easiest way to loosen your chest strap is basically take the chest strap out of the keeper, boom. Now you're gonna take your shoulders and you're going to rotate your shoulders in, which is gonna take some strain off of the harness. You can do this with literally 2 fingers. The most important thing is taking this piece of hardware here and turning it sideways. If you don't turn the hardware sideways, now you're fighting against the hardware, which is trying to keep your chest strap nice and tight. Take the hardware, rotate it sideways, rotate the shoulders forward. You can take your thumb and easily loosen the chest strap to whatever length that you want to. Now, we suggest when you first start attempting to loosen your chest strap that you only loosen it a little bit. And then if your chest strap is extra long like this and you're not comfortable with that, you can go ahead and just stow the remaining excess back into the keeper. Kind of work your way out each jump, loosening it a little bit further and a little bit further until you're comfortable with loosening your chest strap as far as you need it to allow that canopy to open up to the shape that it's meant to fly in.
So moving on to type of chest strap, we have type 17 and type 8. Okay, type 17 is this nice wide material. Type 8 is about half this width. This is really just personal preference. One isn't safer than the other. Like the thicker one isn't gonna hold you in your rig extra good, okay? But it's just personal preference. I've always had these nice thick chest straps because it makes loosening this chest strap, the way Jeannie just explained, easier. Every time the only time I've ever had a Type 8, this piece of hardware is so much thinner and narrower that it would get jammed sideways a lot easier, and I would struggle to loosen my chest strap even with those tricks that we just taught you. So I would end up just fighting it, and I had to get the rig, switched out. The chest strap I got replaced, put a nice big wide one on there, and got rid of that problem.
All right, so for the swoopers out there, there's a specific way that you can tighten your chest strap down to make it easier for you to remove your chest strap. Now for everybody else, we're not taking our chest straps off. For swoopers, we have this nice little belly band down here that will kind of keep us in the harness. So do not remove your chest strap unless you've gotten good coaching and you're at that level where it's gonna make a difference for you to take it off. The way we wanna do that is you're gonna route the chest strap in through the hardware, bend the hardware back, making this little loop here, and then you're going to feed it back through the hardware. Once you get it through the hardware, you can pull and tighten the chest strap as tight as you want it, and then simply stow the excess. When you open up under Canopy, you can release the excess, take this, pull it all the way out, and easily be able to remove your chest strap. Now from here, everybody has their own different method. You can actually stow your chest strap however you want. I choose to have a nice little rubber band on my hip ring, and I take it and stow the chest strap to keep it nice and clean and out of the way.
So when we take our chest strap off, obviously this does cause some serious safety concerns if we have to cut away, okay? Now we know of people who've cut away with their chest strap off and their belly band was enough to safely keep them in their harness to get the reserve out. So it is something to take into consideration when you decide to remove your chest strap. One of the biggest things with stowing it the way we just showed you is now your chest strap is where your reserve handle is. So if you do have to do your EPs, you have to make sure you take your time, get your reserve handle, move that chest strap out of the way so that you're not doing that low to the ground back in free fall. So that's definitely something to consider once you get to this point.